How nice it is to hear and believe that all you have to do is pray the sinner's prayer. Now you're saved, and so you're relieved of any further obligations to God. You have the fullest freedom and liberty. No boundaries, no rules, no duties. In fact, there's no reason you can't go right back to your old sinful life because Christ paid for those sins anyway. So for you, there's no consequences. But should you be so foolish as to try to actually obey God's written commandments, why, you're doing wrong. You're being, a legalist. Our Messiah would never want that, right? Well, Matthew 5:19. So whoever disobeys the least of these commandments and teaches others to do so, they're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys them and so teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Christ has given the instruction. Now he tells his listeners the consequences of obeying or disobeying. This is sadly another verse that has been intentionally spun and violated in order to pound a square peg into a round hole. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you how many sermons I have heard many years ago that this was not talking about the very thing Yeshua was talking about. The Hebrew Bible, the law and the prophets. This was talking only about entirely new commands that he would issue that would abolish and replace the older ones. I've also heard a few sermons that claim it ought to be the goal of a Christian to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Because for some, that's an indication of humility and meekness. Why, you certainly don't want to push yourself to the head of the line. For other pastors, they say it's the believer's reward for dutifully breaking God's commandments that Jesus has supposedly just abolished. So seeking to be the greatest in God's kingdom, well, that's wrong. Just as obeying God's old biblical commandments, well, that's wrong.